Well, everybody, it looks like the leaks were true. Sonic X Shadow Generations, that's like a mouthful. It's a lot to say. Has officially been teased. It's been revealed, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot going on with this. I want to make a couple videos about this, but today we're just going to talk about some of the brand new news. We got plot synopsis. We have some development information. There's a lot going on with this. So before we get into the news, please subscribe to the channel with all notifications. I'll give you a second. And drop a comment down below, join the discussion. We'll probably be making a couple videos today. So let's just get into the news real quick. By the way, for anyone who cares, Sonic Superstars is going to receive a free DLC of an equitable shadow costume for Sonic in-game. The costume will be available to download on February 15th, just in case anyone wanted to know that. So for better or for worse, the first thing I wanted to point out was Sonic Team is actually the developer of this game. So this is actually being handled in-house. So for those of you wondering, this is not going to be a Colors Ultimate situation. It's not going to be outsourced with the development. It's going to be in-house with Sonic Team. Some of you don't like that. To me, I think it's a good sign, actually. So we have websites, we have screenshots, we have a lot of stuff. Plot synopsis. Let's get into that real quick and let's discuss. Also, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this, but I think, again, we'll probably save that for a different video. Maybe we'll touch on it towards the end. But yeah, here it is. Sega reveals Sonic X Shadow Generations. It's time for classic and modern Sonic to reunite in a remastered collection of iconic and 2D, 3D Sonic levels. Today, we unveiled Sonic X Shadow Generations, the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog platformer, delivering blistering platforming challenges at speeds only Sonic and Shadow, hey, don't forget Classic Sonic, can deliver. It's the greatest hits playlist of iconic 2D and 3D Sonic levels from Generations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. But that's not all. Sonic X Shadow Generations also introduces an all-new standalone campaign for Shadow the Hedgehog, making this definitive blend of classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and Shadow gameplay. Shadow gameplay is literally, unless it's going to be any different, which... it looks, if you look at the trailer, definitely looks a little Frontiersy. Like, the jury's still out as to how that's going to play. The announcement premiered today, shows off a glimpse of new title action-packed footage with fans excited, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, we got some screenshots. I mean, the game looks like Gens, right? I don't think it looks any different. We have clearly the Generations model right here. The original Generations provide an unforgettable experience. Is there anything interesting in here that there's... no. Okay. I want them to talk more about the Shadow. Look at that. Look at this right here. Black Doom is featured. Fans will get to experience new content and play as Shadow the Hedgehog as he embarks on his own journey parallel to Sonic's. So this is going to be a parallel journey to Generations, which is what I said. This is basically our redemption shot at Shadow the Hedgehog, basically. Like, for the most part, that's really what it is. Shadow was first introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, blah, 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 blah. Anything cool? Players will dive into... okay, since their first meeting, Sonic is the only one to keep up with Shadow, a fact that fascinates and frustrates him, has been the driving force to bring out the best in him. The two sides of the same coin, Sonic and Shadow, are unfriendly rivals through and through, but they can put their differences aside when the fate of the world is at stake. Players will dive into Shadow's dark past and understand his motivations and learn more about him as a character. That is actually good. Here's a screenshot. By the way, this is what I mean when it looks a little... does it look a little Frontiersy? Looks... right? I don't know. Looks a little Frontiersy for sure. Sonic X Shadow Generations combines classic Sonic, modern Sonic gameplay alongside a collection of beloved 2D and 3D stages from Sonic games over the past 20 years. Generations will now be modernized for PlayStation 5 and 4 consoles. Hey, what about the other systems? It's going to be on Switch, by the way. Shadow goes on a standalone journey that explores his backstory and abilities in a way that fans have never seen before. That is actually sick. We're going to get... this is literally... hear me out. This is essentially Shadow the Hedgehog 2, in a way. It also says, with Shadow's portion of the title, players will get to know him more as a character, understand his motivations. It will create the ultimate celebration of classic Sonic. Yeah, classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and Shadow gameplay that all fans will surely enjoy. Takashi Iizuka, creative officer from Sonic. But yeah, what I mean by that, though, is essentially we're getting a second crack at, like, attempting to explore Shadow's backstory, which is really cool because clearly the first one was a flop. And it was like, are we ever going to get a Shadow the Hedgehog 2? I would say this is the closest thing to Shadow the Hedgehog 2. It's probably going to feature levels from it. This is going to be our chance to truly maybe flesh out Shadow's backstory a little bit more. I'm sure Ian Flynn and the lore team will be a little bit more attentive on this one. They're gonna do a little bit more of a better job explaining. This is our second crack. This is the good timeline where we actually get Shadow the Hedgehog 2, but it's actually good is what I'm getting out of this. So it looks like the official website is up. Sonic and Shadow Generations. Here we go, guys. So we're gonna get some new screenshots and stuff too. Shadow the Hedgehog is back, teaming up. So Shadow is actually teaming up with classic and modern Sonic in Sonic X Shadow Generations, an all-new collection featuring 2 unique experiences. So again, it's separate, right? it's going to be a different campaign. Wish list now. I don't see a link to pre-order on Switch, so that's interesting. But it is confirmed to be coming for the Switch. We have some screenshots, some brand new screenshots. So here we go. We got one. Shadow kicking this pod right here. Again, this is our chance to get Shadow the Hedgehog 2 is what I'll say. That's really one thing that is what I'll say. The website's up. It doesn't look like anything too interesting on it, though. We saw this screenshot already. This right here looks exactly like the original gens. You can even see the shadow right here. It looks a little pixelated. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, Black Doom is in it. So this is going to be an alternate side campaign happening while gens is happening from what it looks. This picture right here, again, I don't know. Oh, whoa, here's a new picture. Here's a new picture of a cutscene. Yeah, the cutscenes don't really look that different. Don't look that great. I don't know. This cutscene doesn't look that crazy. Look at classic Sonic's model, modern Sonic's model. Here's the first cutscene picture. Anything else? No, that's it. That's all we get. No surprise here either. Ian Flynn is obviously, I guess, involved with the story. Ian Flynn, hashtag knowing smile. That means he's involved with the story of the game. So he's clearly writing the Shadow story. That shouldn't have been too complicated. I think everyone probably knew that. Yeah, for those of you wondering, Ian Flynn will probably be writing the new story. Big news, guys. Big news. The Steam page is up. The Steam page is up. What do we have? The Steam page is up for Sonic and Shadow Generations. Same screenshots as before. Just this little cutscene right here. Guys, new news about this game. Shadow the Hedgehog is back and teaming up with classic Sonic for 2 unique experiences. Play as Shadow the Hedgehog in a brand new story campaign featuring the never-before-seen power and abilities. Shadow's old nemesis, Black Doom, reemerges and threatens to take over the world. How does he do it? I don't know. This is literally Shadow the Hedgehog 2. This is in terms of the story, it's the Shadow we never got. Again, I know there's a lot of concerns, and I'm kind of seeing it. But it's way too early to start hating. I don't know. I mean, the Sonic team have our trust. Maybe they haven't earned our trust, but I mean, it's for me at least, I'm more of an optimist kind of guy. A little bit too early. So Black Doom reemerges and threatens to take over the world. Shadow must journey into his past, confront painful memories, face familiar foes, and unlock new powers to save the world and prove why he's known as the ultimate life form. Comes with Sonic Generations, of course. You know, if the game's bad, at least people will have Sonic Generations to fall back on. That's Sega. That's a bold move right there. That's interesting. This again is basically Shadow the Hedgehog 2, complete with all the same villains that we fought in the last game. I just hope it's gonna be good, man. I know some people are hating on, you know, this section right here, right? I see it, but it is way too early. But we got some new news, which is cool. So what it is essentially is Black Doom is he's the final boss of the game. He's the main antagonist. How he comes back, I don't know, because he's defeated. Maybe it has something to do with the time eater, because again, you see Perfect Chaos, you see Dr. Eggman, you see some of these other bosses. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe Black Doom, he escapes and then sets off an alternate campaign that takes place in the story of Sonic Generations, basically. So again, it looks like in this new campaign, we're going to be getting some new abilities, like I guess stuff that we can unlock, maybe similar to Sonic Frontiers. I'm not 100% sure. And by the way, this game does look like it's built based off of Sonic Frontier Cyberspace in Hedgehog Engine 2. Again, that's for a separate video. But yeah, Black Doom is apparently going to be the main antagonist. I mean, it's possible they could be saving up another one. I mean, Mephiles was a pretty big villain from Shadow's past. Maybe he's lurking somewhere, but it seems like this game is very Black Doom centric. And I would just like to say this: we're definitely going to see Maria get shot in this game. Like, there's no way that's not happening based off of this plot synopsis and based off of all this news. So guys, let me know what you think about the news. Let me know if you're picking this game up, and stay tuned for future discussion because it's coming.